This is Ashley MacArthur, a former crime scene investigator who spent years helping law enforcement catch killers. But now, she's sitting on the other side of the interrogation table. And even after detectives discover the victim's body, Ashley still believes she's smarter than everyone in that room. She truly thinks she got away with murder.
Let's start with your relationship to Taylor. Okay. And y'all met how long ago?
About a year ago.
How often did y'all hang out?
Probably once a week, twice a week.
Okay.
It would kind of go in spurts, depending on what she was doing. When we first met her, it was probably August or September last year. She would kind of come and go because she lived in Destin at the time. And it wasn't until she moved over here that I would see her more, because she would stop by the house and different things.
Suppose she were to have ran off, who do you think she would have gone to?
I mean, really, after everything came out with the situation with Biloxi and all that, my understanding was that she had kind of a long-term relationship with this girl in Biloxi.
Ginger,
yes. But like I said, the first day that I ever heard the name Ginger was that day that they were at the house, and then all of this comes out. But supposedly she had been with Ginger for quite some time before that. I knew her to date guys that were in Destin right before she was with Cass, so I don't know.
Do you recall any guys' names or?
No. I mean, she told me, but and showed me pictures and whatever else. I mean, they were like big buff, like military guys that I felt like were similar to, it's probably mine, like her husband, or ex-husband, because that's the type that she always said that she liked. So it was kind of confusing, because sometimes she would tell us that she was going to date guys, and then the next thing you know, she'd be with a girl. So we kind of didn't know, like, where she was at any given point. But like I said, I was surprised when the stuff came out with Ginger, because she had never even mentioned her name to me at all.
Mm-hmm.
And she had talked about people she dated. It wasn't like odd for her to tell me about people she had dated.
So the last couple of weeks, can you kind of describe what y'all's interactions have been like?
I'm mostly helping her. Like, the Friday before I met her, she said, I have a couple boxes. Can you help me move from the house that she had in Cantonment, that she was renting a room from?
Mm-hmm. First I heard of a house in Cantonment.
Okay, maybe not Cantonment, my Mile Road. I call it Cantonment. Do you know about that one? Okay. Ambra.
Yeah. That's the person that lived there?
Mm-hmm. She called me and she's like, hey, can you help me with a couple boxes? Hey, can I call you right back? Yep. All right, thanks, bye. She's like, hey, can you help me with a couple boxes? Well, I'm like, well, which truck do you need me to bring? Because I was going to bring one of the trucks from my office, and we have like a pickup truck and a box truck. And then she starts telling me what she needs, and I'm like, I'll just bring the box truck. Well, we ended up filling up the entire box truck.
Not a couple boxes.
Not a couple boxes, and it took all day long. And to the point that, like, I left the truck there for, well, even after all this happened, the truck was still there because she had not done at Cass's house.
Over on Berkeley?
Yeah. Because she hadn't finished with everything. And I was like, I'm going to kind of need it back because it's from the house. We have to use it. Because we move equipment, full tables and stuff with the truck. But those couple boxes turned into a lot of stuff.
Truckload?
Yeah. Literally, it's not a small box truck either. I mean, it was full to the brim. And in fact, we couldn't even get everything.
How many phones does Taylor have?
I only knew her to have one.
No, you're good. If you need to handle something, we're
No,
good.
it's fine.
I mean, I get calls obviously that it takes.
Well, the only is I have my business phone transferred to my phone so I can take calls at night for service and stuff like that. So that's why. I only knew her to have one phone until that Friday. I saw a different phone, and the only reason I saw it is because, or noticed it, because it had the exact same case that her other phone did, but she had one plugged in, and then I saw her on the other one.
You know the number to that other phone? Or what kind of phone was it?
Whatever kind of phone she had on.
Do you keep records in your phone of, do you like commonly delete numbers that call you?
No, it's whatever's there. I think iPhones keep like 30 days or whatever of whatever's available.
In the past 30 days or longer, if we're able to pull more, do you think that she could have possibly have contacted you from that other number?
It's possible.
Would you mind if we what's it called? Dump the phone?
Forensically examine your phone.
Yeah.
It basically just dumps the phone. And we see the numbers that are calling. We don't look at anything. I don't know if that must be, there may be embarrassing picture there. We're not worried about
Yeah,
that.
we're not sure about that.
It's all professional. We're looking for one thing. We're trying to find Taylor. Is what we're trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
I know I did this with you over the phone, but just like I said, with official purpose. The last day that you saw her was what day?
On Friday.
Friday would be the 15th or the 8th or the 1st?
I guess the 8th. I don't know.
Probably the 8th.
Whatever. I think it's the 8th.
That's what I've been hearing the whole time.
The days run together. It would have been whatever Friday.
So the 8th of September, last day you saw her. And about what time?
The last time I saw her was about 4:30. Between 4 and 5
p.m.
Yeah.
And where was that at?
my house.
Who was there at that address when y'all returned?
I was. Zach was. But she didn't come inside.
That was pulled up in there. Okay. So let's start that day from the beginning. At approximately what time?
10:30.
So we'll say about. And what happened at that time?
I went to Cass's house there, or Taylor's house, whatever.
Their house on Berkeley?
Right.
Okay. You went there. Was Cass there?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did Cass leave before y'all, or did y'all leave at the same time?
Cass was still there when we left.
Cass was still there when y'all left. You're sure she was still there when y'all pulled out?
Oh, 100%, I think so.
Okay. So y'all left there, and where did y'all go?
We went from Cass's house to my office.
Cass's house. So Berkeley to office. What were the rest of your plans for the day? So where'd you go next?
We went back to my house, I believe.
What day is this, sir?
This is the last day that she spent with.
Oh, sorry.
So you went back to Raintree.
Right.
And what was your purpose for going back there?
To get any of the papers that I had for her and the money and stuff for her.
So the money was being kept at your house.
Right.
How long had the money been being kept there?
It was only there for a few days.
Where was it at before that?
Taylor had it.
Okay. So this whole thing about a safety deposit box of yours, you know anything about that?
Well, Taylor wanted to get a safety deposit box initially, but she didn't want her name or anything to be on anything that Jeff could find.
Sure.
So I was like, we'll just keep it and give it to you or whatever, because I don't know why she didn't keep it. She has a safe.
That's what's odd.
And I don't know if it had to do with she didn't want Cass involved with any. I don't know. It's hard to say what was going through her head, because I don't know why she was doing a lot of the stuff that she was doing.
So you had the money for, do you recall what day and how that conversation was brought up? Like, hey, 30 grand, keep it your house. That's cool.
Well, it was only 20, and then she had other cashier's checks.
So it was 20 grand and other cashier's checks.
Right.
You know how much money in cashier's checks it was?
Not really. I didn't really look at them.
So you don't know if it was like $500 cashier's checks or $50,000 cashier's checks.
My understanding was that they were like large amount checks,
What's large? Because
like probably 30 or 40,000.
that's large. That's more than
Really large.
that's what I make in a year, so that's pretty large. So let's go back. You were at the warehouse on Pace.
Mhm.
Y'all were there for about 30 minutes. Where did y'all go after that?
Back to my house.
Back to your house. Do you recall what route you may have taken?
No. Probably very few.
Same little back up?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're going there to get what?
The cash for her.
Okay. Did y'all end up?
I don't have a lot of female friends because shit like this, they're dramatic, and I don't want any part of it. I am not a shopper. I don't want to, go to the mall. I don't want to do any of that.
Taylor Wright had been trying to rebuild her life after a brutal divorce. In September 2017, she finally believed she was getting back on her feet, living with her girlfriend Cassandra Waller, working as a private investigator, and fighting to regain custody of her son. But there was one major problem. Taylor had taken money from a joint account during the divorce, and the court ordered her to return it. Instead of giving it back, Taylor did something risky. She handed over $34,000 to her close friend Ashley MacArthur for safekeeping, and that decision would become the last mistake Taylor ever made.
I asked her how things were going. She sent me a text like, I'll explain later. And I was like, well, did you take her? She didn't take care of it. This was like around 11:30, I guess. And she was like, not yet. We're on our way there. So keep in mind, I had to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. Okay. I ended up getting there like around 10:10. And Ash pulled up to my house probably around like 9:50, 9:55. And at 11:30, they still hadn't made it to the bank. So that to me, that was odd to me. Whenever Taylor wouldn't text me back, I texted Ash, and I was like, Ash, like, where are you guys at? Because I thought that they were just going to run to the bank. That's the only thing I knew of that day. So I was like, where is she? I've been in my room painting all damn day. And she was like, well, I had to run some errands. So I asked her if she wanted to come with me. And she was like, yeah, that wasn't anything abnormal. Taylor would ride around with Ash, I wouldn't say all the time, but like there were at least probably 3 times that I can think of where she maybe rode with Ash. Because Ash has to go into bars and collect the change out of like the pool table machines. So she'd just ride with her. They would talk about things and whatnot. So I guess Taylor knew that I was taking care of some things that day, and like the board stuff that had to do with the shirts, grocery shopping. She knew I was gonna come home and paint. So she probably figured it was no big deal to ride along with Ash. Well, Ash called me, and Ash was like, hey, we're up at my mom's house, which is up in Milton. They own a farm. Okay, I don't know if it's the same farm or if it's a different farm. I have no clue. But she was like, Taylor's broke down and cried twice today. And I'm like, what is going on? She won't reply back to me. That's not like Taylor. And she was like, well, she says that Jeff is trying to have her arrested. Jeff wants to see her burn and not have her son. And she's just trying to think about things. And she was out riding a horse at the time. Be really curious because I don't think anything bad of Ash, but Ash was with her that day. I don't know if they were really up at the farm. I know they have horses. I really do. I don't really know. I've never seen horses, but Ash always talked about horses, and even her daughter Savannah talked about horses. So, and Taylor does ride horses. Taylor grew up riding horses. So she was like, she's out riding the horse right now. I'll tell her to call you when she gets off. Or no, she didn't say I'll tell her to call you. She goes, we'll be home in a little bit. So that was about, like 3:30 or so. Well, I texted Taylor a couple more times, no responses. Then about like 7:30, I text Taylor, and about 7. And I didn't have any response. And so I texted Ash. I was like, Ash, what is going on? You said you guys are going to be home. And Ash was like, what are you talking about? Like, she's not at your house. And I said, no, she's not. So Ash called me immediately. And Ash was like, Cash, she left my house like around 5:15ish. She said that she was going to take an Uber, go get a drink. She needed to think about things. She said I offered her a ride, but she said she didn't want to ride. Ash lives like maybe a mile and a half from my house.
Hi, how you been doing? Wow. Did you have a good night?
I'm tired.
Tired? You sleep good?
I didn't sleep very much because I was actually supposed to fly out at 6 o'clock this morning, but I have a lot going on at the office. So,
Where did Laura go?
well, Zach went ahead and went, but I'll probably have to go later. But we volunteer with Sheepdog Impact Assistance.
What's that?
It's a
Sheepdog, probably something with police.
it's a nonprofit that does things for injured first responders from any kind of military, and they're at NDC volunteering to do stuff with the Marine Corps Marathon.
Really?
Here's your phone. Same condition. If you want to look over it, make sure it's in the same condition it was when you left it.
It's a break.
Yeah, I agree. But so your black iPhone, my signature, we're turning back over on the 19th. Sign there. How you been doing?
Alright.
Yeah. Talked to Cass lately?
I haven't talked to her lately. I'll text her or message her every now and then. See, she's heard anything else that's going on, and she has an update, or
How's she doing?
she seems okay. It seems very like she'll say that she's really sad, or she's been crying all day, or she's frustrated, and
I still don't know which way to go.
And I asked Zach if he had heard Taylor talk about any kind of like foot games or anything like that, and he said he hadn't. But it's like when Jeff was starting to ask me, what I knew about Taylor and stuff in the school, like as far as her nightlife and stuff, we didn't really go out together like that, because that circle was a different circle of people. Wow.
On September 8th, 2017, Taylor left home with Ashley to go to the bank. Cassandra stayed behind, expecting Taylor to return in just a few hours. But Taylor never came back. Hours passed. Then, a full day. Until Cassandra received a strange message that didn't feel like Taylor at all. By the 10th, Cassandra had filed a missing person report. And police quickly realized one thing. The last person to see Taylor alive was Ashley.
Well, like I said, we've been looking into it. We've had to look into everyone, obviously. I'm sure you can imagine with the knowledge you do have of law enforcement. We got to look into everyone. So we've been doing it, and we've turned up some things that we don't really know what to think at this point.
Okay.
So we don't know who's involved with what, right? Like I said before, I don't know Jeff's involvement. Obviously, there's probably some bitter feelings over the money issue and the child and Drake and all. I'm sure, she loved Drake or loves Drake, but obviously Jeff has probably no intent on letting Taylor have that child, right?
At this point, I don't think she needs him right now.
Yeah. Well, when we were conducting our investigation, we've come across, like I said, several things. We don't know whether it's civil or something y'all had agreements on or whatever. So I was going to ask you about them if you don't mind, if you had some time. But with that, because we don't know the nature of it, I need to read you something.
Okay.
Cool? Okay. I'll try to breeze through this real quick. It turns out it's just civil issues, and that's not what we deal with. So before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say against you can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before he asks you any questions. You have the right to have a lawyer with you during questioning. If you can't afford a lawyer, it won't be appointed for you for questioning if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop and answer any time. You understand that? I understand anything. If you want to read it, you're more welcome to.
I think y'all may be business partners in something. That's the reason we're asking.
Right.
Sure.
So, as I was saying, when we were doing our investigation, we've looked into everyone. By nature, we have to. We just got that also to Cassandra not long ago, a few days ago. I know she's a girlfriend, right? I'm sure she cares about Taylor, as do you, I'm sure. But we found some bank records that drew some questions. Can you tell me anything about you and Taylor and any sort of involvement with any businesses?
She needed to put like money and whatever, and she also wanted to do some of the stuff with my t-shirt business and stuff as well with her Takeo, and so we added her to my Purely Southern Willsburg account.
Is that the t-shirt business?
Mm-hmm.
How does that work? What do you?
We
What does that entail?
We do like festivals and things like that, sort of like the gun shows and things like that she was going to, where she wanted to sell her clips and tactical things and stuff like that.
Okay. So, did y'all have like a business agreement?
Nothing like really formal.
So what was kind of the plan? She was to just kind of come to put her name on y'all's business or something
And
and
yeah,
sell
we were just,
t-shirts?
well, we would just use that as just a umbrella for all of the tactical and the t-shirts and everything together.
Okay. Now, were you going to do like the ordering for her, or was she going to just kind of bring the stuff and do her own thing?
We haven't really worked it all out yet.
Okay.
Which day y'all added or opened the account?
The account's been open
Okay.
for several years. We added her before she went to North Carolina with Drake.
How long ago was that roughly? Do you remember?
Probably early August.
Okay. So y'all agreed to be, I guess, business partners. Who all's in on that business?
The only people on there are me, Zach, and Taylor.
And Zach was okay with all that? With this?
He doesn't really have anything to do with it.
Typical dad.
Yeah. He's just kind of on the account because he's married to you.
Right.
What was his feelings towards? I mean, did he know that she was getting involved?
No, but he's not involved. I mean, we just didn't, like, Taylor and I's business, we didn't really discuss with Zach because.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I was curious about. How he felt about you all going in and being business partners.
The relationship that Zach and I have is
Be blunt.
Yeah, you could. Or,
well, he's only worked 3 days in the past 6 years, so like
Oh,
what I
really?
do business wise, it's not like up to him, I guess.
Does he not know what all goes on?
What do you, I mean, like,
Like with the business, your amusement business and this Purely Southern business.
I mean, I've talked to him about it here and there or whatever, but he's not really, involved in anything. If I say, hey, can you come help me move a machine, he might do it, or he might say, I'm not a worker, I don't do
really?
machines.
So basically what we're trying to do also is I mean, my concern here is Drake, right? I mean, I'm sure you have a child, right? I can't imagine my kid's not old enough to know obviously anything, but how these children who are old enough to know their parents would feel if the parent just took off.
Well, I was here for a couple hours and my daughter flipped out. She told everybody in the county.
Yeah, I mean, in a month. I don't know. I mean, how would your daughter feel if, and then not in the unknown, right? So one of my bigger concerns, not that I don't care about your feelings and with Taylor and all, or Cassandra's, but you have this child. So I kind of want to get him some sort of answers, right? And I don't really know where to go next. Do you have any ideas, anyone that we can go talk to?
I mean, those are the people that we've already talked about.
Anyone? Has your mind changed at all? Do you feel any different? Have you thought about any other ways that this could have went down?
Not really. I don't know why she's so just irritated with that court date. You know, I don't.
No, we're talking about the court date for
This
with
whatever
Jeff.
Right. And thinking that he wanted to have her arrested and all that. I just.
From the moment Ashley walks into the interrogation room, she acts calm, cooperative, almost cheerful. She talks too much. She drifts into random stories. She tries to paint herself as a loyal friend, and Taylor is unstable and unreliable. But detectives notice something immediately. Ashley isn't focused on finding Taylor. She's focused on protecting herself. And for someone trained in crime scenes, she's making mistakes that no innocent person would ever make.
Taylor, it seemed like she was getting paranoid towards Friday. Like Wednesday and Thursday, she was more so on Thursday, like while we were at Twin Peaks, she was talking about how she felt like something just wasn't right with Ashley. She wasn't sure if Ash had her money or not. Because Taylor had been trying to get the money out of Ash's safety deposit box, Taylor said, for like 4 or 5 days. And Ash kept making up excuses and everything. And then they were supposed to go on Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, and Ash came and picked Taylor up. But Taylor was like, Cash, you know I'm not like the best at directions. Like I get turned around all the time. But I could tell Ash wasn't going in the right direction. And like she did it, Taylor said that she felt like she stalled enough to get to the bank when they were closed. So then I got pushed to the next day, Friday, okay? Like, I don't want to think this, but like I want to give you guys like whatever you guys need. I can be so wrong.
No, I'd rather you be wrong and have a feeling or know something to
I
tell
want
us.
Ash to be mad at me though, because I like maybe accuse her of something.
Ash doesn't even know anything.
Okay.
We're going to talk to Ashley. We're going to talk to.
I'm like thinking all this stuff too, and I'm like, Taylor didn't call me. We weren't on the phone. Like, I don't even know if it was Taylor texting me. Like, if you look at the text records, Taylor's always been so quick to reply back to me. If she knew I was worried, she would reply back. So, they were supposed to leave my house, like, right whenever they pulled up, like, whenever I pulled out. Why is 11:30? Were they not at the yet?
Well, that's a good question.
And then, why did, like, I didn't think anything of Taylor running errands with her, but why would Taylor have waited so long in the day when she knew I was off and she said how excited she was to spend the day with her?
Do you know how many deposits you and Zach or Ashley would have made into the account?
We probably haven't made any. Taylor put a check in there, or we put a check in there for Taylor maybe 3 or 4 times. Small checks, and then I gave Taylor the cash for them, but it was mostly just she was wanting the cash and stuff like that. But I had given her previously when her she said she had some banking issues or frozen the couch or whatever. Some cash, and she owed me cash back. So
How much cash did you give her?
probably 20,000 or something. Over a period of weeks.
Oh, okay. Not at one time.
No.
So how much money do you think she owed you back?
I don't know, I think the total was, I don't know, I have to look at it. Because I had been giving her cash, and she said, well, when she gets her money or whatever, she would, pay him back and put it in the account or whatever. And, it may be more than that, but I think she deposited a couple of her checks to that to pay me back. Maybe 3 or 4 total. But we hadn't, like I said, we hadn't really used the account until Taylor and I started discussing, doing this or whatever.
So, you mentioned that you said that we deposit checks for her.
Like she would give them to me, and
maybe I just don't know much about checks. That's before my time. So she
You
can.
wouldn't even get a check.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's all like I don't. That's all stuff that I heard used to happen. That's like with VHS and all. So she has a check given to her, made out to her, and she can give it to you to deposit.
Yes, because we're all in the same account.
Okay.
I think she has to sign it, right?
I don't know if you have to sign, like I don't sign mine. You just put them in.
Have you ever had to sign her name to a check to deposit?
No.
But my wife will forge mine name over there.
I actually, most checks you don't have to.
You just put deposit only on there, I think.
You can put deposit only, or like when I deposit a lot of them, I just put them in. If it's in an account with your name on it, because I think if you were cashing something is when, you know what I mean? Because then you'd be receiving the cash. But if it's going into a listed account with, your name, it's supposed to be your, whatever.
And she was having her accounts were frozen.
Yeah, that's a while ago.
So y'all would deposit when all this was going down with the check stuff, or before that?
No, before that.
So her account was back active.
I guess at the time, I don't know.
Okay. But when y'all deposited the checks, and I'm assuming you had access to the funds, or y'all had access to the funds after it. Do you know what bank she was having issues, or where these checks were coming from?
What do you mean, which checks were coming?
Like, were these paychecks that someone wrote to her, or were these like where she pulled money out of a bank in form of a?
She had one cashier's check, and then I think the others were like little paychecks that somebody had written to her.
Do you recall how much the cashier's check was for?
I think 30,000, 33, 34.
And she or you deposited that?
I deposited that. I actually deposited all the checks for her.
Into?
Unless she deposited more than I know. Because she would just hand them to me and I go.
And that was into the Simply or
Purely account.
Okay. Did she ever make withdrawals or expenses from that account?
That I don't think so, because most of it was paying me back for the money I had already given her.
Sure.
She said that and this started way back in probably February. I don't know, that she was having, issues with her bank or whatever and trying to get money out of whatever she was doing or whatever. So usually I'd give her like 1,000 or 1,500 a week or so to keep. And
good Lord.
Well, so that she could, do what she needed to do and buy her products for her stuff and, keep up her.
Pretty good. Well, she had no friends, but I don't know if you let me Or $1,500.
Well, I
Would
mean,
you?
and that was for a week, but I mean, and honestly, it was probably very stupid because knowing what I know now, there's a good chance I would have never gotten, paid back for any of it because it turns out it really wasn't her. But I didn't know her to be anything but honest with me.
Sure.
So.
And you loaned her approximately $20,000 over the course of those. Okay.
It was probably 26 or 28. I don't really know. I mean, it wasn't. And she just said, once I get the money, I'll put it in there for you, whatever. And okay, that's fine. But I mean, to my knowledge, she was making it with her private investigator stuff, but she just was like, this money is getting tied up. Can you help me out? And
Does Zach know all this?
probably not.
Did Jeff inquire about the funds at all whenever he reached out to you? About like these funds that she apparently had taken from or withdrawn from an account that he was on?
I think he said something about that she had to do that in the court or whatever, but I mean, he didn't really mention much of it at all.
Okay. Fair enough. I wanted to at some point go back over kind of your timeline again,
Okay.
if you didn't mind. And the day that she last went missing, can you kind of start with like that night before, if you remember? Yeah.
Can I check my phone really quick?
Sure. Do they have a problem with us bringing the phones in?
I'm not supposed to bring them in here.
Well, can I just walk out there and check it because I told everybody I'd be to work, and so they're gonna be like, "Where are you?"
Yeah.
It shouldn't take much longer.
Yeah, we'll try to speed this up.
Well, I just didn't want anything to they're probably gonna be like, "Where am I?" And my collector's supposed to meet me in the house, so I was like, "Oh, I won't be down there long," so I didn't know.
Yeah, it shouldn't take very long.
Yeah.
Ashley keeps repeating one story, that she took Taylor to a farm in Milton, then Taylor left on her own. But detectives have something Ashley can't argue with. Cell tower records. Phone data shows Ashley and Taylor were not where Ashley claimed. Instead, both phones repeatedly hit towers near a remote property outside Cantonment, Florida, a place connected to Ashley's family. And suddenly, the calm ex-cop starts slipping, because now she realizes the investigation isn't based on guesses. It's based on proof.
You know how cell towers work and how phones communicate with cell towers? Okay. What happens is your phone,
I mean, I'm sure that.
it's still communicating with the tower, even if
yeah.
it's in this building.
Sure.
It's telling us, that way it knows if you get a call, it picks up the tower with a strong strength. Okay. And based off that, the tower can tell you what sector of the tower you're communicating with. I'm not an artist, so I'm going to try to
That's okay.
draw this the best that I can. Let's say like the tower's right in the middle here. And that tower covers that much area.
Right.
So most towers have three different sides on it. So it's going to equal into a pie like that. And it can tell you if you're on this sector, this sector, or this sector. And we have got all these things right here. I'll show you what it looks like. Are basically what I try to draw. Like right here at 9:05 in the morning,
Right.
your phone was communicating with this tower.
Gotcha.
And it was somewhere in this sector.
Mm-hmm.
Probably at your house.
Right.
This would apply to your house. Okay. When we started plotting all the phone calls that you and Taylor were making that day, there were some discrepancies in what you had told us.
Okay.
Okay. We know that you didn't go to Milton when you said you went to Milton.
go to Milton?
Not when you say you went though.
Oh, well, I don't know what.
You went that evening
Oh, okay.
around 7:30, 8 o'clock. Maybe you went to dinner out there or something.
We did go to dinner out there.
Who all went to dinner out there with you?
Me and Zach.
You and Zach. Okay. Where'd y'all eat at?
Maybe Pastor Bistro?
That ain't good. I never eat there. I don't even know where that's at. I have no reason to go to Santa Rosa County.
I don't go anywhere.
No, I stay out on by the Walmart there on Blue Angel, and I have no reason to leave that area. Okay, so there are some discrepancies, but we'll go over that all with you here in a minute. We're just trying to get everything out here. How often do you talk to this Kyle Britt guy?
Probably a couple times a day.
And when I say talk, text or voice.
Right.
Okay. Do you remember talking to him that day on the 8th?
Probably.
You know what y'all would have spoke about?
Probably school or something.
Do you know if he was at home that day?
I don't think he was. I don't know. I don't know. I think he was at his aunt's house.
He was his aunt.
I don't know.
Where does she stay? Now, who is Kyle's parents?
My aunt and uncle.
What's their names?
Karen and Britt.
Karen Britt.
Mm-hmm.
And what's his name?
Carl.
Karen and Carl. Okay. Now, where do they stay?
Jacksonville.
Do they have any property here in Florida?
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say Florida because Jacksonville is Florida. Any property here in Escambia County?
Yeah.
Okay, where's that at?
That is off of Beulah Road too. Or no, off of.
Okay. Now, do you travel out there a lot to their property?
Not a whole lot.
Do you travel more to their property or more to your aunt's property in Milton?
My aunt's property in Milton.
Okay. When's the last time you think you went out to the property of Beulah? Or 297, whatever you call it?
Probably.
They used to always joke around and talk about, like, if they had to get rid of a body, they'd go to a hog farm or something, you know? And I thought that it was weird, but, like, people make comments like that, you know? Like, people just talk like that sometimes. I don't, but the people do. But even whenever I text Taylor or tried to call her, she didn't answer. And then I text Ash called me. And Ash said that she was out riding a horse. I don't have any evidence of her riding a horse. I would have thought Taylor either would have had her phone on her or Taylor would have called me when she got off the horse. She never did.
Do you know of any other farms? You know where any pigs might be?
Well, when Taylor had to turn in her she had to give her address to her ex-husband, and she didn't want to, so she gave him the address of a pig farm that's somewhere a little north of here, because she knew he would like Google it.
Can you get an address?
I'd have to Google it. I don't know of any pig farms.
So she just Googled it and gave him some bullshit address? Or it was some address of someone she knew?
I don't know. She said it was a pig farm. She was like, I gave him the address of a pig farm. Oh.
If you don't want it.
So what we did is we had the ability to plot all your phone calls for that day on where you were. Taylor's. And it all starts at 9:05, okay? So 9:05, you're probably at home.
Mm-hmm.
8:15, you're probably at home. 9:05. 9:13. 9:15. And it's the same tower, it's a different tower because it's on the south side of your house. But what it does is there's 3 towers, and your phone will communicate with the one that's got the best signal.
Right.
And that's how it knows always knows drop a ball. It looks like you're moving here. This may have been, I don't know where you may have been going, but it was 9:51. You know about what time y'all went over to your office after you picked her up?
Really.
10:13. You know where y'all may have been going. What's that? You know what's about what time you picked her up? Let me ask you that. That may be easier.
Probably. I thought it was about 10:30, but I could be wrong.
Then, for some reason, it didn't capture any more towers from 10:30 to 12:10.
Mhm.
Now, at 12:10, you are in here.
Mhm.
We know that your aunt and uncle and Kyle own the farm there on Britt Road.
Right.
And it's showing that you're probably near that farm, or if not, at that farm. And you're there when this is the time when you're telling us that you're probably in Milton or headed towards Milton, because it's 12:10 in the afternoon.
We were still on the Beulah side then.
Yeah, but if you're at that Tom Thumb, it's going to be covering down here, not up here. The Tom Thumb is not covered by this tower. Okay. 12:10, 12:22, 12:46. You're still covering the farm. 12:47, 13:01. Or sorry, 13:11, which is 1:11.
You recall who had been calling?
There's no telling. Like I get so many calls each day.
You're out here for quite a while. Then you leave around at least at 13:44. Your phone's not communicating with the part of the tower that covers the railroad. What were y'all doing out there at this farm? You know y'all were there.
We picked up some stuff that Taylor had there that
What was there?
that she had stored. Some kind of lockbox that she had
Why would you not tell us that originally?
because she asked me not to tell anyone ever.
It's not gonna.
The truth was horrifying. Investigators searched Ashley's family farm and uncovered skeletal remains wrapped in a hammock, buried beneath freshly poured concrete. Taylor had been shot in the back of the head, likely attacked from behind by someone she trusted. Even worse, the money Taylor gave Ashley was gone. It had already been spent, not on survival, but on Ashley's secret lover, Brandon, a man she bought gifts for, including a brand new phone and even a $30,000 boat. And as if murder wasn't enough, Ashley was also exposed for fraud and arson. In the end, the ex-cop who thought she could outsmart everyone was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years.